We here at Victims and Villains support independent artists and independent film, and obviously we do it for horror movies because we spun off in a whole nother podcast to do it. And I'm sitting now with Jaysen Buterin. Sorry, had a brain fart there for a second. He is the director behind the horror film Kill Giggles.
Yes, writer and director, tag team effort. But yes, thriller, horror, clown killing epic, soon to be released by a big studio in Hollywood that we're not legally able to say yet, but soon. It'll be on screens and in hands.
All right, so we haven't seen the film as of this interview.
Excellent.
We're going to watch it tonight. Our review...
Spoiler free, though. We'll keep it spoiler.
Yes. Our review will be a companion piece to this interview you guys are watching right now. So kind of tell the kind folks at home what the movie's about.
Effectively, I have a crippling case of coulrophobia, which means I'm deathly afraid of clowns, largely because of the one of the movies that a fellow next to us was in, Poltergeist. The marionette clown marionette scene just completely unhinged me. Became a horror filmmaker, and I wanted to see a movie where people killed clowns, because the serial killers always dressed up like clowns. The monsters were always clowns. The spreaders of mayhem were always clowns. I wanted to see them die. And I'm like, surely someone's had to have done that before. And I started doing a bunch of research, and me and Shirley couldn't come up with shit. Nobody had done that, and it seemed like such an original, an easy idea. So that's what we did with Kill Giggles. We have a serial killer of clowns, not one who dresses up like a clown.
So you got it.
We sort of flipped the script just enough to be different, and I think we made something kind of special. I'm very, very proud of Kill Giggles.
Well, now I'm really excited to kind of see this movie. It's funny how art normally imitates life. You write what you know, basically. And so I'm kind of guessing how long was the journey to actually research trying to find such a movie?
It didn't take long to do the research, the script writing process. It's a story I'll come up with an idea, and then 4 years later, it's finally done. The first draft of the script I wrote was 300 pages, and I wasn't done yet. But every time I told my DP how long it was, he peed a little because he got really scared. I'm like, it'll be an 18-hour-long Ken Burns narrated documentary about the death of clowns, but that was too much to do. So we whittled it down. It took a long time, but and then shot entirely on location in North Carolina. We've been able to put together an amazing crew of very talented people on both sides of the camera, and a lot of people gave up hours, days, weeks, months of their life to be able to make this happen. And we made something very special. We made I like it more of a thriller than a horror. We kind of eschew some of the more modern horror tropes. There's no real nudity, rampant sex, gratuity, blood, gore. It's just the most gratuitous thing I hope is the story. But we made something very, very special, very Hitchcockian, and just kind of something kind of cool.
So you just keep heighting this intensity of wanting to see this movie for me. I love Hitchcock. So I guess my next question is the character design, because you look at something like Pennywise, both Tim Curry and Bill Skarsgård are so iconic, and then you also have even I was gonna say John Wayne Gacy has a very signature. So what was kind of the process for designing the look of Giggles and kind of the other clowns in the movie?
I got very lucky. I have a brilliant effects artist and wardrobe tag team combo duo, Mr. Joe Harp and Ms. Soraya Davis. They're just absolutely amazing. So they helped out a lot in terms of bringing those to life. Joey Rudzinski is a fellow I know in Greensboro who's actually a professional clown. He graduated from the Ringling Brothers Clown College, has an official degree. Academic knowledge of clowning, the history of clowning. So I brought him in as a clown consultant. And then I had different visions of different clowns and stuff like that, but I kind of I just gave little text descriptions to people and just sort of let them come up with their own vision. I want it to be this, or I would send them a picture of the person that we had cast. I'm like, now make a clown out of it. I wanted each clown to have a very different look, and we sort of run the gamut. We've got rodeo clowns and mall clowns, and then it's just, I don't want to spoil anything, but every clown has its own signature, distinctive look, which made me happy. It wasn't just buying a bunch of wigs and shit shit from like from a Halloween shop and just kind of making everything look the same. Like everyone had a lot of thought put into each and every one.
Now, was there ever a time where you like saw like a design for a clown and like rejected it, or was it just like literally just free reign on these designs?
Minor tweaks and adjustments here and there, but again, just I've been insanely lucky to be able to pull together an immense crowd of people that are just. Can we curse in this? I don't know. That are just fucking brilliant at what they do, and they like me and they haven't told me to fuck off yet. So like I keep working with them as much as I possibly can. No, I mean it's just and a lot of times too. I mean I'll have an idea in my head and I'll shot list. I'll give it to my DP and what he captures on camera is far more beautiful than anything I saw in my head. So it's like it's just sort of an idea. But I've been lucky enough to find the people that I can trust to do what they do, and they do really well. So it's a very, very creative and collaborative effort.
That sounds amazing. And so you talked about how like this spot of mental health where this journey of writing the script came from. And I'm wondering if you can kind of talk about like did it feel like therapeutic for you to kind of like place the fears out there and kind of like face them basically?
Oh yeah. A lot of it sort of started. I have a 9.5 beautiful boy who's the most beautiful boy in the world. And I figured it was a matter of time before he got invited to a birthday party, and the entertainment would be like Bubbles the floppy-footed fucker or something. And being deathly afraid of clowns, like I've got two options. You know, we can either have a very well-rehearsed story about where Jack's daddy disappeared to, when the truth of the matter is I'm locked in the trunk of the car crying hysterically, or I can get over this crippling case of coulrophobia. So what Kill Giggles is an ill-advised, self-administered dose of psychotherapy. I wanted to kill clowns, but I like going home and spending time with my son, so it's like I figured I'd do it in a movie and then not have to go to jail. So it's kind of like cinematic catharsis or sodomy, you know. I mean, but then you get to the deliverable stage of movie making and it feels like sodomy. So stay in school, kids, and don't do drugs, or just do good ones. Be selective about your drug choice. But yeah, I mean, that's what I love about filmmaking, about making music, writing, anything like that. I mean, it's catharsis. I have so many demons in my head screaming at the same time. Like, it's just nice to be able to get that out and just to be able to watch clowns die in wonderful ways. And I've got composition books. Like, when I get committed again for hopefully the last time, it's just like we've got like defense exhibits A through, I don't know, like APQ or something like that. I have a lot of composition books full of clown deaths. So it should help expedite the commitment hearings, I guess.
Fair enough. All right. So my last question is like, how important would you say that like finding because for you like this project was like you said, like it's cathartic, it's therapeutic. Like, how important would you say that like finding an outlet like that is for one's mental health?
I mean, you have to. Even before the apocalypse hit and everyone got shut inside themselves and were left with only themselves. I mean, for me, I have to have that. If I didn't have writing and making movies and making music and everything else like that, I'm thoroughly convinced I would not be around right now. And to be able to have the people in my life who support that unconditionally has saved my life multiple times. But a lot of times you get bogged down by the demons screaming in your own head, and you don't know where these thoughts come from, and you don't know why you're having these thoughts, and you don't know you feel like a freak because you don't think anyone else in the whole world is having these thoughts. They are. They just don't know how to deal with it, or they don't know how to vocalize it, or they're too scared to say anything. And so to be able to have a creative outlet to do all these grotesque and gory and scary things, and to realize that it's a cerebral exercise, and you can get out these thoughts and these feelings and these angers and these issues in a creative way that ultimately brings people joy. To screening tonight at Kill Giggles, I mean, people were going to laugh. I mean, it was a vivisectional point in our lives to be able to make this movie. We sacrificed a lot, but we made something that makes people happy. And we've got something that's just it's a cinematic spell of movie magic at its finest, and I will never be as proud of anything else as I am of that feature film.
All right, so you mentioned, and this is the last question, I swear.
Yeah, you always ask
one more.
You
mentioned specifically about like you guys getting ready to like be released through a bigger Hollywood studio. But until that happens, where can people find more information online about the movie and follow the release date updates?
We've got everything. We're all over the social media. Everything is Mad Ones Films is the name of the film company. So I mean, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube /Mad Ones Films. I think Instagram is the Mad Ones Films because I forgot the fucking password and they wouldn't let me in. So I'm like, it's the Mad One. And then yeah, I mean, killgiggles.com, madonesfilms.com, clownkiller666 is our CB handle because I think that's going to be the next big wave of social networking. Is we're going to bring back CB radios. Yeah, I mean, you can find us anywhere. Usually just to the left in the middle of nowhere.
All right. Well, you guys can find more information about Kill Giggles in the descriptions below wherever you guys are currently watching this. Jaysen, thank you so much for your time, man.
Thanks for letting me be a part of it, dude. It's an honor.
All right. Have a good one, guys.